Bonjour, Monsieur Vasseur, le grand boss, le grand chef de Alfa Romeo Racing Orlin. Fred, merci. Tu es un ami, donc on se doit sur. On est tout digital de ce moment-là. Quand on va rentrer à la vie normale, mon ami? Quelle est la date?
Je pense que ça va se faire un peu par étapes. Déjà, il y a une première étape pour la vie sociale, là, de déconfinement, qui a eu lieu en Suisse, qui a eu lieu en ce moment en France et en Italie. Et puis après, on aura la reprise du travail. C'est la fin du shutdown pour nous, 25 mai. Mais on va faire ça par étapes parce qu'il faut qu'on réintègre les 500 personnes de l'usine. Donc, on va le faire étape par étape. Et puis après, on aura les premières courses, j'espère, en juillet. Donc,
Donc, on va tourner à l'anglais parce que dans le webinaire, on a parlé français, comme ça je fais un peu de training, but it's better to switch on English because all the people will listen to us into English. And so my idea, it's about this talk with you is absolutely, as a first question, do you see really a chance that we can be part of this incredible, strange Formula One Championship 2020? And if you have a positive answer, how do you see a real chance to have a, let's say, a different championship?
I can't have a look in the crystal ball, for sure, but I think that everybody is pushing in the same direction to try to organize the championship, and that so far the first race would be Spielberg, the Austrian Grand Prix. We could eventually do also two races in a row, that in Spielberg. And then for the next steps of the calendar, we have to wait for the confirmation from the FOM. But we are doing our best, and the FOM also that we know perfectly that it's important for us to be back on track. It's important for our business, but it's also important for, I think, personally, for the all the stakeholders of the competition, because that we are not mm, made to stay at home. Let's
I
say.
can imagine. Uh, Now, in this moment, you are in Hinbil, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just received a WhatsApp from your wife. She was dancing and saying, "Finally, finally, back to work, my adorable Fred."
yeah.
Fred, if there is thing that I had the chance in my life to meet so many people. But if I have to tell you something, sorry that I have to tell you digitally and not personally, what I absolutely adore about you, that you're going straight to the point. And you are the kind of person that when you make a question to a person like you always get an answer. So, question number one, will it change the Formula One, do you think? The budget cap and this trouble of cost sponsoring and all around this big shock that COVID has given us, do you think will give a chance to Formula One to get back to a more normal championship and less technological, aerodynamic, aerodynamic, and too little of the pilots? Do you think there will be this change?
Honestly, that the reaction is a good one from the FIA and the FOM. The crisis will be huge. That I'm convinced that it will be a huge impact on the economy, and not only on the F1 but for the world. And we had to react. If you are reacting after the crisis, you are dead. And I think at least the reaction was not immediate, because it's difficult, and it's difficult then to find an agreement, because that you have 10 teams around the table with different structure, different size, different budget. But we are working on it. I think that we made a huge progress the last couple of weeks. We will be able to issue something in the next few days or hours, and it will be a crucial step for the F1. And for sure that we need to have this kind of decision. Also, first, because that we need to keep 10 teams on the grid, and this is the most important. And then also to allow to have a more tight race, that if you, we need stability, and that don't expect to have a big change for 21 or 22, because that the most important is then to have the stability over the next 4 or 5 years. But I think it's part of the project. And by the stability and lower budget, we will get this kind of a dream race that you are expecting.
you too are expecting a little bit more going back to race or not? As I asked to Fred Vasseur, not the CEO of Sauber, but because you are really passionate on racing. I can see from your eyes when you talk about your job, you're not just doing the job, you are
Yeah,
fulfilling the
yeah.
vision.
But the job is can't be just a job because that it's let's say demanding, and and you need to be also motivated by the passion. And I think it's the case for all the guys working in F1 today, not only me.
How is going the relation with the sponsors and all the stakeholders? I mean, I think it's not easy not to deliver the products and
No,
the service that the sponsors are waiting, and on the other side, a real sponsor.
yeah, Paulo, you are right that we have to be open to the discussion that we know perfectly that in one end the sponsors are struggling on their own business because everybody is struggling, perhaps except the guys who is producing masks, but all the others are struggling. And in the other end, we are not delivering the show expected so far. That the reason that we can understand the expectation of the sponsor. But I hope also that we will be back on track as soon as possible, and then we could, when the economy will restart in a way, or start to restart, and then we will sit down with the sponsor and partner of the team to find the best way to manage it.
Fred, not many people knows that you are, of course, the team principal of the Formula One team, but you are the CEO of Sauber Group. And so, what does it mean exactly, the difference? What you can say, of course, but there is a huge difference between Sauber Group and the expectation of what Sauber Group can become and the Formula One team, right?
Yeah, the Formula One team is a part of the group, but so far it's the biggest part of the group. But we have also two other division, let's say, that let's call it Sauber Aerodynamic and Sauber Engineering with external project, third-party business, and it's going up quite fast. And it's important for the stability of the group because we can't bet only on the F1. We have also to develop other business, and it's probably also the best way to attract new sponsor and new partner for the future to start the collaboration on the technical basis, and then to develop this kind of collaboration for the future.
Fred, Dr. Marchione adores you. I know very well this sentence. And I can remember easily a strange Geneva 2018 where you were going to meet him at the Ferrari booth. And why it's so hard to work, be a pilot, be part of Ferrari, in your opinion? You look it from outside, of course, but why it's so hard?
For a driver, I lost the connection.
Yeah, for the drivers and for the people to be partner of Ferrari. Why it's so hard to be in Ferrari?
So I don't know if it's much harder to be at Ferrari or at Mercedes or another team.
Very political answer. Very good.
No, but it's true also that the pressure is the part of our business. It's probably more true at Ferrari than somewhere else. It's true that the expectation is huge. It's true that the motivation and the passion behind the team is huge, and it's probably putting more pressure to the drivers, to the team than everywhere else. That the fact that all the teams are UK based except us and Ferrari, it's also probably a bit different because that the attention of the journalist is a bit spread on the team. In Italy, it's not the case at all. Let's say like this. And for sure, you have more pressure, and you are under the eyes of for every single mistake or every single choice that you have tons of comments, and it's not easy to manage, but it's a part of the game.
And the relation Sauber, Alfa Romeo Racing and Ferrari, it's affordable, good, long term.
Yeah, that we have a long-term contract with Ferrari, and I think that the relationship is a very strong one on the technical side, and that it's important for me to develop the car around the engine also, and we know perfectly Ferrari, we know their engine, they know us, and the collaboration is okay.
Were you surprised from the changes of Vettel out of Ferrari? Did the news surprise you?
Honestly, I don't have common decision. It's an internal decision. They have all the all the argument and all they know exactly the situation inside the team, and it's very difficult to take this kind of decision for your team, and it's even more difficult to comment when you are not aware of everything. And I will never do something like this. That I think that they had for me two of the best drivers of the field, and they didn't find an agreement with Seb, and let's see that.
So now Kimi and Seb are coming back, living close together in Switzerland, not far away from Sauber and Alfa Romeo Racing. We'll see the future. Tell me about your personal relation. I mean, I talked longly with Nico Rosberg about you, and he always remembers like a mentor. I talked to Robert Kubica, and he says only good things about you. So you are really a mentor sometimes, I think. You get some big names on Formula One. How is your relation with Kimi, an expert, Iceman, and the young Giovinazzi? How do you manage the situation with such a different driver?
It's a bit different compared to the names that you gave before, because that with Nico that we worked together. It was not in F1. With Seb we worked together in F3. That with Lewis also, and the approach is completely different when you are working with a kid with 18 and with someone who is world champion like Kimi. When you are in F1, the relationship is a bit different. But with Kimi, is completely different than the image that he's sending to the world. And he's with the team, he's more than open. He's a very open guy, very pushy with the teams to try to help us in every single decision. And he's a real team member. The image and the perception of the public is a bit different with someone like you said, Iceman, but it's not with us. He's not Iceman.
And Giovinazzi is growing, eh?
Yeah, Antonio is improving. That he did. It was a bit difficult at the beginning of the first season, but even if he was performant in quali from the beginning, I remember perfectly that Melbourne he did a very strong Q1. He was P6, and then he had the crash in the start when Ricciardo crashed first. But the first part of the season, that you always had the feeling that he was almost there, but missing the last small things to score points. Race that we are finishing the season beginning of December. We have the first test day in mid of Feb, and very often the drivers say, okay, today is the first day. It's a bit difficult, but that this season you will have Barcelona in February and the first race in July. That it's 5 months later, 2 times more than the winter break. And it will be directly in FP1 and directly the race, and it will be different. The other reason could be that if we have less races than expected, they could have the feeling that they will play a lot on every single event. And this would be a mistake, but let's see what happens.
Some more questions, then we finish, because I don't want to take you here too much. I know how many things, and finally you are in so you can really work deeply and not only Zoom in and Skyping or this digital world. But one question about Sauber Group. Are you thinking, at least let me say, really thinking, something about Formula E or not?
We are open to different projects. As a group, we want to develop the activities, but so far it's a bit too early to have this kind of project, and that honestly that we have a lot to do in F1, that we have to manage the current situation, that it's not an easy one. We will have the new regulation for 22. We have plenty of projects and topics on the table, but for the future we need to develop the activities, and why not? It could be a good project in terms of engineering, also in terms of development. But why not?
Alfa Romeo, 110 years this year, these horrible years. 24th of June is the date, and we see this incredible Giulia GTAM, and it's written that parts of the aerodynamics concept was developed in collaboration with Sauber. Can you explain how it works? Because this is very interesting.
It's what we said before, that it's important for us to have to develop a link and a collaboration with our partner. It can't be just sponsoring and to have a sticker on the car, to have some guests and so and so. But it's important for us to develop the collaboration and to be to be more involved in their own business and to try to be supportive with Alfa Romeo on their own project. That we have a huge capacity in terms of aero development with the wind tunnel that the factory, and we have the capacity to do this kind of development with a very high precision and very high level. And I think it's a good example of the collaboration that we could develop with Alfa Romeo, and step by step, I think that we are doing a better job together, and it's important for us to be part of this kind of project. But for sure,
Sergio Marchionne loves this project, Alfa Romeo and Sauber, a lot. So missing Sergio means also that you have to rebuild in a way that puts the develop and the concept, competence, and all the things around. But it's a big brand. And new projects around Alfa and Sauber coming, and there is something arriving more and more. And are you celebrating 50 years of Sauber this year?
Yeah, it's an important. It's not only the anniversary for Alfa Romeo. It's also for Sauber because it's 50 years in racing, and it's an important that I'm not very focused on this kind of things, as you know.
We have to hold Jan.
Even for myself, but no, but it's important to celebrate it, and we will do it properly.
What makes you proud of your job, Fred? Honestly, because I have the pleasure to share some dinners and lunches with you, and I saw a man that is very demanding, but first of all, is demanding with himself.
Well, I think the most important is to build up something. I'm very proud of very proud, it's not the right word, but I'm very happy at least of what I did with my previous company, with ART, with Spark, even with the drivers project, as you said before, to have drivers like Charles, who started in go-kart with Birel Art, doing the junior series with us, and starting in F1 with me, and then going to Ferrari it's a very good example and a good achievement. I'm not responsible for this, but I think you have the feeling, at least you have the feeling that you are building up something, or someone in this case, but something, and the development of the companies, and even Sauber, the relationship with Alfa Romeo, with Orlen, that to have a long-term project to develop the other activities of the group, that this is a nice feeling for someone who wants to develop the new project, and I'm also very proud to be part of the Sauber project with the story behind, and Peter Sauber who had exactly the same approach in the past. It's nice to be part of the story of Sauber.
The track of your life, the track you love more, the track. You, not as an engineer, not as a chief, as a passionate of car racing.
You know that I would have to say that I like the track when you are successful. I don't care about the layout, and so I want to be successful. Like this, I would say that Sao Paulo is a great one because it was we did good, we did very well at the end of last year with P4 and P5 in F1, but Bahrain was also always a good one for me, and
okay.
Most important is the next one.
Very good sentence. Enzo Ferrari said a lot of time. Next most important race is the next one. Yeah. And finally, how is to work in Switzerland for French on an international in this? Because exactly the people can see, but on this window there is the cows and the big grass. So you are really in the middle of the pure Switzerland. Exactly. And I mean, you come from Paris. You have been all around the world in this quiet Hinwil.
You know, to be in. Honestly, I like Zurich. That the place is a good one for the business. It's perfect. You can fly everywhere. That you have all the commodities. Then the most important is to have guys around you with the same passion. And I think it's probably easier to do it in Switzerland because that we are at this level. We are the only team in Switzerland, and the comfort that you can procure to the guys is also huge. Not only into the company, and in Zurich it's a very nice place. And no, I think it's a good place to work. The guys are passionate and hard worker, and it's the perfect place to develop.
So Fred, let me say, first of all, thanks for the time you share with me, with the people of Passion Garina, and let me wish you all the best. All the best to the team, of course, all the best of the future of Formula One, but also, absolutely from my heart, the best to you. I was really honored to have you like a friend. We need people in Formula One so clear, so straight to the point. I know that the people in Sauber doesn't think the same because you are horrible sometimes, but absolutely you're the one. No, kidding. Thank you for your time, Fred. All the best.
Thank you. Ciao.
Grazie.